Hello, lovely English people. Today's story is short, savage, and oh so satisfying. It's about standing up to a classroom bully, the kind of person who hides behind fake confidence, mocks others, and acts untouchable, until karma shows up in front of everyone. This one? It's pure classroom justice. So grab your coffee, because it gets gloriously petty. And if you've ever been mocked by someone who thought they were better than you, hit that like button right now, because this story is for every quiet kid who finally snapped back. My name's Aria, and I've never been the loud one. I'm the kind of student who sits in the middle row, does my work, minds my business. But apparently, that makes me an easy target. Since the beginning of our prep courses, our class rep, let's call her Clara, has been on a mission to make me feel small. She's that type. Always perfect hair, always raising her hand, always reminding everyone she's the top student. And if you ask a question she already knows the answer to, she makes sure the whole class knows you didn't. At first, I brushed it off. I thought, okay, maybe she's just confident. But confidence doesn't mean mocking people for asking questions. She'd roll her eyes when I spoke, whisper something to her friends, and giggle. If the teacher praised my answer, she'd mutter under her breath, "Guess even broken clocks are right twice a day." Yeah, real charming. But the thing about quiet people is, we notice everything, we remember. And when we finally reach our limit, it's nuclear. So, today the teacher decides to reshuffle everyone's seats. We had assigned numbers. No big deal, right? Except, apparently, for Clara. I picked up my stuff and politely asked, "Hey, what number do you have?" She looks at me with this smirk and says, loud enough for everyone to hear, "The chairs are right there. Count them. Don't you know how to count?" The class chuckled. Not because it was funny, but because she was that person. The one everyone laughed at to avoid becoming her next target. I froze for half a second. I could feel my ears burning, my chest tightening. And then, I snapped. I stood up, looked her straight in the eye, and said, "Effing stupid biche, I asked what number you had. Not if I know how to count." Silence. Dead. Silence. You could have heard a pin drop. Clara's face went red, then white. Then she spun on her heel, stormed up to the teacher, and started yelling about how I verbally assaulted her. Classic bully move. Play victim the second someone fights back. Except, this time, it didn't work. Because what Clara didn't realize was that our teacher had seen everything. She'd been noticing Clara's attitude for months. The passive-aggressive tone, the constant interruptions, the superiority act. The teacher looked at me, then at Clara, and said calmly, "Clara, please go to the office. I'll be reporting this incident." Clara blinked. Reporting? Me? But she swore at me. "Yes," the teacher replied, "because I saw why she did it." Boom. Just like that, the tables turned. Clara burst into tears and stormed out of the room. Meanwhile, I just sat back down quietly. A few classmates gave me the kind of nod that says finally. Later, 3 of them came up to me and said, "We're so glad you said something. She's been awful to everyone." Even my mom, when I told her, just shrugged and said, "Honestly, I would have said worse." And that's when I realized something. Sometimes the words we bite back are the ones people need to hear. No, it wasn't elegant. Yes, it was petty. But oh my God, was it satisfying? Sometimes standing up for yourself isn't about being polite. It's about drawing a line. And once you do, bullies stop seeing you as a target. So, if you're ever dealing with a Clara in your life, remember, kindness has limits, and silence isn't weakness. And that's how one sentence flipped the power dynamic in a whole classroom. If you enjoyed this petty but perfect revenge story, hit like, subscribe for more weekly stories, and tell me in the comments, have you ever had to snap back at a bully? Because sometimes the sweetest revenge is just saying what everyone else is too scared to.